What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? I am so pumped to be bringing you everything you need to know as the Kansas City Chiefs prepare for what's sure to be an epic matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles this Sunday. The energy here is absolutely incredible. And as we gear up for the big game, I'm excited to share all the latest updates from the Chiefs camp, including what we've learned from the team so far and what the mood is like as we get closer to Super Bowl Sunday. But before we dive in, I need your help. Chiefs Kingdom. If you want to see the Chiefs take home the Lombardi Trophy this year, I'm counting on you to hit that like button right now. We need to do our part to guarantee a Chiefs win, and that starts with you. Asking for at least 1,500 likes in today's video. Let's get it done, Chiefs Kingdom. If we hit that number, we'll be doing our part to ensure victory. So don't forget, smash that like button, and let's get this team the support they deserve. So now with that out of the way, let's get into today's show. Let me tell you something. This Chiefs team is incredibly relaxed right now. And that's one of the most encouraging things I've seen all week. Whether it's the veterans like Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, or the young guys like Marquez Hollywood, Brian, you can tell this team is locked in and confident. We've been talking to players, coaches, and team staff for the past few days, and the vibe has been nothing short of fantastic. This is a team that's ready to go, and they're approaching Super Bowl 59 with the right mindset. They're not overwhelmed by the magnitude of the game. Instead, they're channeling that energy into preparation and excitement. And I have to say, it's not just the guys who have been here before. I'm especially impressed with the first-timers like Hollywood Brown, who's experiencing his first Super Bowl. For a player who's never been to this stage before, he's handling it with poise and focus. Hollywood knows how big this moment is, but he's taking it all in stride. Here's what he had to say about his first ever Super Bowl appearance. When I came into the NFL, I remember watching guys like Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Chris Jones do their thing in big games. Now, I'm here playing in the biggest game of my career. It's crazy to think about, but it's also a dream come true. Coming into this season, I knew I wanted to play in the playoffs, and now here I am getting the chance to play for a Super Bowl. I'm just grateful to be in this position, and I can't wait to do whatever I can to help this team bring home the win. Hollywood's approach is exactly what you want to see from a first-time Super Bowl player. He's pumped up, but he's also keeping his focus on the task at hand. He's not letting the moment get too big for him. He's embracing it, and I have no doubt that he's going to play a key role on Sunday. And let me tell you, it's not just Hollywood who's feeling the energy. George Karlaftis, who's playing in his second Super Bowl, is also bringing that same level of excitement to the table. Karlaftis is no stranger to the big stage, and you can see the confidence in him when he talks about facing the Eagles once again. He's been there before, and now that he's got the experience of a Super Bowl under his belt, he's ready to bring everything he's got to this matchup. Here's what George had to say about the upcoming game. Last time we faced the Eagles in the Super Bowl, we had a lot of rookies. A lot of us were still trying to figure things out. Now we've got experience under our belts and we know what it takes to get here. The core group of guys in the locker room has stayed the same, but the Eagles added some great pieces to their roster and they're going to bring their best, but we're ready for it. We've got the experience, we got the leadership, and we've got the talent to take care of business on Sunday. It's going to be a heavyweight battle, but we're prepared. George's confidence is contagious, and it's exactly what this team needs going into a game of this magnitude. The Chiefs are ready for the challenge, and they're not backing down. The experience they've gained over the past few years, along with their familiarity with the Eagles, has them in the perfect position to execute when it matters most. And that leads me to an important question I want you all to weigh in on today. Who do you think is going to be the Super Bowl MVP? The Chiefs have had a few different players win the MVP in past Super Bowls, with Patrick Mahomes taking home the trophy every time they've won. But could this be the year that someone else steps up and steals the spotlight? Maybe Travis Kelce makes a huge play, or Chris Jones dominates on defense, or could we see a surprise MVP from the likes of a guy like George Karlaftis or Noah Gray? I want to hear from you. Chiefs Kingdom, drop your predictions in the comments below. Now, let's talk about confidence, because that's been a huge theme around this team all week. The Chiefs are not just confident, they are calm, collected, and fully believing in their ability to get the job done. This confidence is not cocky. There's a big difference between arrogance and belief in your abilities. And right now, the Chiefs are the perfect example of a team that knows what they're capable of, but doesn't need to talk a big game. Instead, they're letting their actions speak for themselves. And when you've got leaders like Patrick Mahomes and Chris Jones setting the tone, it's no surprise that the whole team is feeling good going into Sunday. One player who's quietly confident going into the big game is Noah Gray. He's been a solid contributor for the Chiefs this season, but he's had a somewhat quiet postseason. That being said, he believes that he could have a breakout game in the Super Bowl, and he's absolutely confident in the team's ability to get the job done. Here's what Noah had to say about the team's mindset heading into the Super Bowl. There's not one specific play that stands out to me, but every time I step into that huddle, I look around and see the faces of my teammates. There's a confidence, a grit, and a determination in all of them. That's what I see every single snap, whether it's from the offensive line, the receivers, or the running backs. We're all on the same page. And I'm just grateful to be playing alongside these guys. I know we're all going to do our part, and I'm excited for what we're going to accomplish together. Noah's perspective is exactly what you want from a player who might not always be in the spotlight, but is still ready to contribute when called upon. His confidence is a reflection of the overall mindset of this team. They believe in each other, they believe in the game plan, and they believe that they can win the Super Bowl. Before we wrap up, I want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Prize Picks. If you haven't checked out Prize Picks yet, now's the time. It's the easiest and most fun way to get involved with daily fantasy, and they've got some incredible offers for you right now. You pick 2 or more players, choose whether you think they'll have more or less than a certain number of fantasy points or yards, and then you can win some serious cash. If you use promo code SATS at prizepicks.com, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. They're also giving away $50 when you deposit just $5. So you don't even have to win to get the bonus. If you're betting on the big game, I'm going with Mahomes to throw for more than half a passing yard and Saquon Barkley to score a touchdown. If you put down $20, it could turn into $50. How cool is that? So head over to prizepicks.com, use that promo code, and let's win together. Lastly, one of the key factors for the Chiefs this year has been their experience. This is a team full of veterans who know exactly what it takes to succeed on the biggest stage. They've been through the media circus, they've handled the pressure, and they've learned from their previous Super Bowl appearances. And Charles Amian put it perfectly when he talked about the leadership within the team. When I first got into the league, I had guys like J.J. Watt and Whitney Merciless showing me the ropes. Then I went to San Francisco and learned from guys like Eric Armstead and Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, being here with Pat, Chris, and Travis, I've had the opportunity to be around some of the best leaders in the game. They've taught me so much. And that leadership is a huge part of why this team is so successful. I've been fortunate to play with great leaders, and now I'm excited to be a part of this Chiefs team and contribute to our success. Having leaders like Pat Mahomes, Chris Jones, and Travis Kelce at the helm makes all the difference for this team. They've been there, done that, and now they're leading the way for the next generation of Chiefs players who will go on to make their own Super Bowl memories. We've seen times this year where the Chiefs maybe weren't playing up to their full potential. There have been games that were closer than they should have been. And at times, it seemed like they were playing down to the competition. But I think everyone agrees that this is a different situation. The Eagles are not a team you can afford to take lightly, and the Chiefs know that. They've shown in the past that they can handle the pressure of big games, and I expect that to be the case here as well. Joe Thuney, for instance, even talked about the Eagles in a recent interview, and he gave them a ton of respect. He broke down what makes this Eagles team so dangerous. And when you hear him talk about it, it really puts things into perspective. He said that while the defensive line has changed a little bit, they still play with that same grit and togetherness that's been a hallmark of this Eagles team for years. And let's not forget, the Eagles have always been known for having strong defenses. They've got great coaching and solid players on every level, from the defensive line to linebackers in the secondary. The way they operate, they're always on the same page, and that's why they've been so successful. Thuney's right. This isn't a team you can just show up and expect to beat without putting in the work. That brings me to another key point, the offensive line. Joe Thuney's been solid at left tackle since taking over the starting role after the injury to Orlando Brown, and that's been huge for the Chiefs. But now the next challenge is going to be the run blocking. We've seen how dynamic the Chiefs' passing game is, but if they want to control the game and keep the Eagles' defense guessing, they'll need to get the run game going. With guys like Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco, the Chiefs have the talent to make that happen. The question is, how well will they be able to execute? That's something to watch for on Sunday. Now, here's something that's really exciting for Chiefs fans. This team is embracing the spotlight, and that's exactly what you want heading into a game like the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. That's a massive stage, but the Chiefs are soaking in every moment of it. And for me personally, this is my first Super Bowl week, and let me tell you, it's not easy. There's media availability every single day, practice sessions, team obligations, interviews. It's a long, intense week. But the Chiefs aren't letting any of that faze them. In fact, they've already got their game plan in place before even stepping foot in New Orleans. They know exactly what they need to do, and they're treating this as a business trip. There's no distraction. It's all about the game. They're fully locked in, and they're making sure they're ready for anything the Eagles throw their way. I can feel it, the intensity, the focus. These guys are ready. Charles Amini, who's been a real difference maker since coming back from injury, spoke about how much this moment means to him. He said he thrives in big games, and this is as big as it gets. This is the moment he's been waiting for to help this team win something that no other organization has done before. That's the kind of mentality you want from your players. Since Amini came back, he's really made an impact on the defense, especially when it comes to the pass rush. His presence has opened things up for other players as well. And let me tell you, keep an eye on him on Sunday. He could be in for a big game. And that's just one more thing that could turn the tide in the Chiefs' favor. So to sum it all up, Chiefs fans have a lot to be excited about. The team is confident, focused, and ready for the big stage. They're not taking the Eagles lightly, and they're embracing the challenge head on. This team has experience. They're relaxed, and they're not letting the pressure get to them. All of these things point to good news for Kansas City heading into the Super Bowl. Now, before I wrap this up, I want to hear your thoughts. Who do you think is going to come out on top, Chiefs or Eagles? What's your final score prediction? As for me, I've got the Chiefs winning 30-27. I think it's going to be a close one, but in the end, the Chiefs will get the job done. But I want to know what you think, so leave your predictions in the comments below. And before you go, if you enjoyed today's show and you want to see the Chiefs beat the Eagles, make sure to hit that like button. We'd really appreciate your support. Thanks for tuning in, and I can't wait to see you next time.